On behalf of the women and men of the Charlottesville Fire Department, I would like to welcome everyone to the graduation ceremony for CFD Recruit Academy number 5. Please stand and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You can be seated again. I would like to take a minute to acknowledge and thank our elected officials for joining us here today. Vice Mayor Sina McGill and City Councilors Michael Payne and Heather Hill. And thank you to Mayor Nakia Walker, Councilor Lloyd Snook, and Interim City Manager John Blair, who are all joining us virtually today. At this time, I'd like to give Vice Mayor McGill an opportunity to come up and say a few words.
Thank you. From the city, going in to being a firefighter is more than just fighting fires these days. And there is so much to it, and our city would not be safe without you. Just yesterday, a friend of mine had an accident where their stove was left on. They left not realizing the stove was on, and the firefighters were called. She still has a house. Her pets are still alive. Thank you. You've chosen to go into a field that is often not recognized for all the things that you do on a daily basis. And I want to congratulate you on choosing to serve the city. Thank you. And please continue to take care of yourselves. Never underestimate secondary trauma. And we have a wonderful counselor here who helps. Please make sure you take care of yourselves, mind and body as well. Because without you, our city will not be safe. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Vice Mayor McGill. We also have another special guest here with us today. As many of you know, Chief Hezidine Smith is our next fire chief at the Charlottesville Fire Department, and he's here this weekend with his family, and he was able to join us. So I would like to give Chief Smith an opportunity to come up and say a few words as well.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here in this beautiful city. First, let me say thanks to the leadership team and others who've been involved in the training of the new recruits. It is a pleasure to share this experience with you as your new fire chief. Joining the Charlottesville Fire Department is a privilege, one in which many others would love to be a part of, including myself. I'm happy to be a part of it. As a new employee, it is imperative that you take the oath seriously, in addition to the commitment to serve the citizens and visitors of this great city. With over 164 years of tradition, I would be remiss not to acknowledge those who came before you, us, I should say. We must be committed to the values of this organization that embodies itself as a family with integrity, respect for all, and excellence in all we do. Remember your commitment to the code of ethics that require you to constantly strive to achieve the objectives and ideals, dedicating yourself to our chosen profession, saving lives, fire prevention, and fire suppression. I look forward to your contributions as new firefighters and ask that you take the opportunity to solidify the training that you've received, the competencies that you have, and that you've practiced over the last several months. Look out for one another, especially on the mental health side of things, and also wear your department's uniform with pride. Thank you, and welcome to Charlottesville Fire Department. Thanks for having us today.
Thank you, Chief Smith. We look forward to your official start as our new chief in just a few weeks. Thank you to all the other guests that are joining us today. We really appreciate everybody coming out to recognize this group. Today we're here to recognize CFD's newest recruits and to celebrate their successful completion of Recruit Academy number 5. Today's also Friday the 13th. I know some people are superstitious about this day and the significance that it might carry, but I grew up with Italian immigrant parents, and in Italy, 13 is the lucky number. I was born on Friday the 13th and was often told that meant I would have great prosperity and an abundant life. I'm gonna do a quick timeout and let this truck come in. We'll hook it up. A little bit of information for you guys. This hose is a climate vent system, and it basically gets all of the exhaust fumes that come out of that truck when it first starts up and sends them out the building so that we don't inhale that inside the building. It's one of our many cancer risk reduction strategies that we have in place to try to keep these guys and everybody safe. So if it looks kind of funny that we're hooking a hose up to it, that's what that's about. Feels so much better having the backdrop back. So I was saying that I was born on a Friday the 13th, and where I'm from, that's a sign of great prosperity and abundant life. And prosperity is the condition of being successful or thriving, and an abundant life is one that's deeply fulfilling. There are typically 1 or 2 Friday the 13ths in a calendar year. The last one was back in March. Anyone recall what happened on that day? If you can go back to that time, you'll remember that it was the day after a state of emergency was declared in our area, in this state, for the pandemic. And 8 months ago, on Friday the 13th, these fire recruits had completed their physical ability test earlier that week. They'd submitted their personal history questionnaire, and they were waiting to find out if they would get an interview. But also 8 months ago, we came to a screeching halt. We, collectively. We locked down, we sanitized everything, we stockpiled toilet paper. COVID added a whole new layer of complexity to every emergency incident we ran and how we operated in and around the stations. We began a period of dramatic change, major uncertainty, and there was a baseline of generalized anxiety that permeated the community. Conducting panel interviews were put on hold. So these gentlemen waited patiently. And then in June, we conducted our first ever panel interview by Zoom. I'll admit I was super reluctant at first, and I thought we wouldn't really be able to get a sense of who the candidates were if they weren't right in front of us in person. But what we learned was that for most candidates, they were more comfortable, they opened up more, and we were better able to assess character. As everyone in here in uniform knows, we don't hire based on certifications or specific experience and training at CFD. Instead, we seek people who embody our values and demonstrate behaviors consistent with servant leader qualities. Tyler, Brandon, Colton, Nick, Greg, and Drew did just that. And after several more steps in the process, they were selected and began their Recruit Academy on August 1st. Today's Recruit Academy is dramatically different from what it was 25 years ago in my basic training. Sure, there's still sessions on pulling hose, throwing ladders, search and rescue, and other fireground tactics. But those tactics have become more sophisticated and complex with advanced tools and equipment available now, and new techniques based on scientifically validated research conducted by leading national experts in the fire service. This testing is done to minimize risk to firefighters, but this job is inherently risky. Make no mistake about it, we provide this service to the community, sometimes at great risk to ourselves. The safety and success of these recruits will be a direct result of the time and effort they spend with many different people who will help teach and develop their skills throughout their careers. But no matter what shift or company they get assigned to, they will always remember their first instructor and the impact he had on them. Firefighter Jess Rodzinka has spent the last 15 weeks with these recruits, teaching them the tricks of the trade, but more importantly, modeling and instilling in them a passion for training and continuous improvement. Firefighter Rodzinka has developed and instructed countless classes throughout the 25 years in the fire service, his 25 years, and CFD is very fortunate to have him leading the recruit academies. At this time, I would like Firefighter Rodzinka to come forward and receive a token of our appreciation for his efforts. Hold on, one more thing. Got two things here.
Thank you very much.
And I'd like to offer him a chance to say a few words.
Thank you. I had the honor and privilege to get to teach Recruit Academy. This is my third one in the department I was able to teach. We started with 5, the Fantastic 5, I think they called themselves, and then we were fortunate enough to get Greg, who has now been called Randy. I'll let him explain that, not my place. But over the last 15 weeks, we've had a great time. They've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about myself and learning from them. They brought an interesting array of experiences, both life and education, to the table, which was neat to exchange with them throughout the 15 weeks we've been able to spend time together. Threw them to the wolves a couple times just because of opportunities that arose to us, but we had a good time. Thanked them for their hard work, long days, few tears, a lot of sweat, a little blood, no broken bones, so we're successful there. But thanks for your hard work, good luck, and see you on the floor.
I think an explanation of Randy is in order because it speaks to, so his name, he got nicknamed Randy because we had a firefighter here who left to go be an instructor at a state academy in Tennessee. And I bring it up because I think Jess had an influence on that young man and helped grow his passion for teaching and instructing in the fire service. And he got this great opportunity. Well, that guy's name was Andy. And so Greg is replacement Andy, or Randy for short. Yep, a little silly, but firehouse nicknames are kind of a thing. So, all right, I would also like to thank Battalion Chief Scott Carpenter, where is he? There he is, for his coordination and administration as our training officer of the Recruit Academy, and all of the other instructors who assisted with classes in the live burns. With a training division of 2, it truly takes a village, and I thank everybody that helped shape and mold these young men. And now to the recruits. Your academy was just the beginning of what you will need to be successful and thrive as firefighters. As you join your new company and shift, build on what you've learned. Firefighting is the ultimate team sport, and all of your teammates want you to succeed. Ask lots of questions, and don't be afraid to ask for help. You will bear witness to tragedies and experience more grief and suffering than you should. Lean on us, we'll be here for you. As hard as this career has been at times for me, it has also been more fulfilling than I could ever have imagined. As a wise young firefighter once said, be humble and hungry. And I promise if you are, your career will be fulfilling too. To the family and friends of our new members, thank you for being the support our firefighters need. There will be times where they may not want to talk about something initially, or you don't understand what they're talking about. Just be patient and listen. This work can be intense, and they will continue to need your support throughout their careers. And also, please know that we're here for you all as well. In closing, on this Friday the 13th, recruit class number 5, you persevered throughout the COVID hiring process, and have already demonstrated that you can adapt to change. That will serve you very well in your career. I wish you great prosperity and an abundant life here at CFD. At this time, I would like to invite the recruits to stand and receive their graduation certificate and also to do the oath of office. So please stand. Tyler Floyd. Brandon Huffman. Colton Johnson. Nick Needle. Greg Pelletier. And Drew Shiflett. All right. Gentlemen, if you could now turn and face me. Raise your right hand. And repeat after me. Please stand here. I state your name. Firefighter for the City of Charlottesville Fire Department. Recognize my obligation to protect and preserve life and property of the public we serve. And do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me according to the best of my ability and understanding. So help me God. And now, I would like to invite whomever has the honor of pinning these new recruits to come on up, come grab a badge, and do the honors. This is the cue for, hopefully they prepped you to do this a little bit. Once again, please join me in congratulating. Thanks again to everyone for joining us today. If you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, we'll turn this back on. One of our firefighters, Elena Fuller, created a video to commemorate their time in the Recruit Academy. She got some good footage. And please help yourself to some refreshments and mingle as distanced as possible. But thank you. I know, awkward times, but thank you so much for coming. I'm getting a signal from the new recruits. It sounds like there may be I'll turn it over to them. No, please. You can just...
We just got something special for our instructor for everything he's done for us for this past few weeks, months.
Way to make ours look small.
So what?
Is it way to make ours look small? I'm just kidding.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Hold it up.